Everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. In this video we will talk about method for calculating the confidence interval for the difference between means के दरमियान जो डिफरेंस होते हैं उनमें जो है कॉन्फिडेंस कैलकुलेशन इंटरवल्स जो होते हैं उनके बारे में आज की वीडियो में आपको बताएंगे. When confidence intervals about the difference between the groups means are not supplied explicitly in reports of clinician trials, it is usually an easy matter to calculate these from the data reported in the trials. जब हमारे पास कॉन्फिडेंस इंटरवल्स जो डिफरेंस के होते हैं ग्रुप मीन्स में वो सप्लाई नहीं होते रिपोर्ट्स में, तो उसके ज़रिए हमें क्या करना पड़ता है. इजी मैटर इसका ये है कि कैलकुलेट करें डाटा रिपोर्ट को ट्रायल्स में. The confidence intervals for the difference between means for two groups can be calculated from difference between the two means the difference, their standard deviation and the group sizes. An approximate 95% confidence interval is given by first obtaining the average of the two standard deviation, which is known as SDAV, and the average of the group size NAV. Then the 95% of the confidence interval, 95% of CL for the difference between the two means as calculated from 95% CL difference positive minus 3 multiplied by SDAV divided by NAV will be 2000A. The symbol which is shown on your mobile screen mean is approximately equal to. In other words, the confidence interval span an interval from below the difference in group means to 3 multiplied by SD above the difference in the group means. This equation is an approximation to more complex equation that should be used when the trialists analyze their data, but is an adequate approximation for the readers to clinical trials to use for the clinical decision making. It has the advantage that it is simple enough to be calculated routinely whenever a clinical trial does not report the confidence interval for the difference between the group means. In the trial by Dini et al. 1998 on the 18 participant average group size 40, the authors reported mean meters of edema for the both intervention and the control groups 40 cm for both group, and the standard deviation about 3 means 6.0 cm for the both groups, but they did not report the 95% confidence interval for the. Many trials have more than two groups, as they may be more than one intervention group or more than one control. The reader must then decide which between group comparison is or are of most interest, and then the 95% confidence intervals for the difference between these groups can be calculated in the same way as above. Similarly, most trials report several and sometimes many outcomes. It is tedious to calculate 95% confidence interval for all outcomes, and usually the best approach is to decide which few outcomes are of greatest interest and then calculate 95% confidence interval for those outcomes only. Sometimes a degree of detective work is required to find the standard deviation or standard error. If the standard deviation or standard errors are not given explicitly, they may sometimes be obtained from the error bars in the figure. In other trials report, they may be inadequate reporting of the trial outcome, and it will not be possible to calculate 95% confidence intervals. Such as trials are difficult to interpret. Some trials report median and Quartile ranges are sometimes ranges instead of means and standard deviation. If you didn't get point, can ask me in comment section. Thank you.